So the course is Certificate 3 in Individual Support. The course code is CHC 33015. That's a new course. Quickly, we can find out the year 15. That is why the last two digits are 15 for the course code. So when you look at the course code, if you wanted to confirm that the course code that you're dealing with is the latest course code, then you can check the last two digits of the course. Then you'll understand that it's year 15, which is the latest code. Um, Now, what is this course or why this course was introduced? Because this course is replacing two other courses. Guys, can I unmute mute all of you so that we can have a quiet place to do the training. I'm going to mute everyone. If you have any questions, you can type it in, or I will unmute in between. Then you can ask me the questions as well. All right. All right. So this course, the Certificate 3 in Individual Support, actually replaces two other courses, which was Certificate 3 in Aged Care, our current Certificate 3 in Aged Care, CHC 30212, and another course is Certificate 3 in Disability, which IHNA is not delivering, but that course is as well replacing, which is CHC 30408. One more course, Certificate 3 in Home and Community Care, as well replaced by this course. But at the moment, IHNA is not offering that specialization. So what they have done is they have taken off all three courses and put that into a single course with three different specializations. So the first specialization is aging, and the second one is disability, and third one is home and community care. There will be changes or differences in units based on what specialization you're going to take in. For example, if you just want, at the moment there are 14 units for this course, but if you just wanted to do one specialization, then it will be like if you wanted to do aging only, then it will be only 13 units. If you wanted to do all three together, then it will be 16 units. So basically, it's just a difference of 1 or 2 units in between. That's all. Otherwise, it's all the same. Only the names and the specializations will change. We are going to start this course on 18th of January. Our plan is how we're going to deliver this courses. We will have a weekly one-day class across Australia. This will be similar in all campuses. We are going to deliver this course in the same way in all campuses. There won't be any differences. Previously, if you look at our Cert 3 Aged Care, we were using different methods of training, like or different ways of training. Like in Perth, we were doing 3 days in a week. In Melbourne, they were like 1 or 2 days in a week, and then they were doing the the workshops as well. There were different methods of delivery, but now we are segregating all together, and we're unifying all the deliveries. And what we are planning to do is we deliver it across Australia in the same way. We have approval to deliver this course in India as well. That's why I've invited the team from India to join this particular training. So how we're going to deliver this? One day a week, we will be having a theory class, and that'll in that day we will cover one particular unit, and then we will have every month we will have a 4-day simulation based assessment. So those who are actually completing the theory part or on the theory part during that month, they can actually get into the simulation based training and they can complete it as well. We will also run 1 hour of webinars every day, 4 days a week, so that if anyone cannot attend our one-day training, one-day face-to-face training in the college, they can actually attend the webinars as well. This is how we're gonna deliver the course. All the students will be enrolled as online students only, even though we provide support classes face-to-face. If you just go through the course details, the course got 14 units in total. So the qualification structure, I'm just going quickly through the delivery and assessment guidelines for this course. So there will be 14 units. So group A electives are aging specialization, and the group B electives are from disability specialization. And if you look at the assessments, there are three types of assessments. One will be knowledge-based test. The second one will be simulation-based assessment. And the third one will be practical placement assessment. The knowledge-based test is multiple choice questions. So the students, I'll just show you a screen as well, like how it looks like for the students. The students can go through the assessments and they can submit their answer. I mean, the assessments we've made online as well. So all the assessments students will be attending in the system only, which means they don't need to download the PDF and then upload it again. They can do all the answering straight away from the system. I will go through the details in my next session for the educators, but in this session I will show everyone how the assessments are going to look like, or how is it going to be visible for the students. Simulation based assessments, as we all know, we are doing the simulation based assessments in the lab, and there are certain number of tasks that all the students has to complete in the lab. Once we found them satisfactory on all those tasks, then they will be able to go for their practical placement assessments. So a question will be like, which assessment task that I need to complete before I go for the practical placement will be the simulation based assessment, which means if a student completed the simulation based assessment, all the assessment in satisfactorily, they can then go for their practical placement. And during their practical placement, they can go through the knowledge based tests as well, and they can complete those assessments as well. Why we are doing this in this way? Because previously most of us were doing, they have to complete all the theory part and then go for the work placement. But now we are changing it a little bit in such a way that like they can do the simulation based assessment and then they can do the theory and practical placement as well. What we are trying to achieve from this one is, or what is our goal on this one is, this particular course we are delivering in such a way that this is a skills based training. All our certificate 3 courses we are trying to deliver in such a way that it will be a skills based training, more into the skills. We give our focus more into the skills rather than the knowledge. Why we are changing the paradigm? Because of the feedbacks from different facilities and from the students that skills are more important than the knowledge. Even though the knowledge is required, the skills are a must to have to go for the placements. That is why we are changing the paradigm. And Saji is just saying we are following the same in Heidelberg. Yes, I agree, but in Perth we were not doing the same. That is why I'm just specifically saying we are changing it. In why we are in our certificate 3 in aged care course in Heidelberg, it has been followed up, and we were getting great feedback and great completion rate for students, which actually prompted us to do this for every courses as well. All right. So the practical placement assessments as well, there is different types of assessment. We will go through those assessment details after a while. Now the placement duration, the practical placement duration will be 120 hours, approximately 3 weeks. We started doing it, or we plan to do it for 160 hours, and then I've circulated the tasks with many of the educators. The feedbacks we've got from all 3 campuses was 160 is not, or it's a bit high, and in some places, some of the placement facilities will not give 150 hours, 160 hours of placement. And if you look at the training and assessment, training.gov.au, what they asking is 120 hours as well. So the minimum requirement of 120 hours. So altogether, we have decided we will keep 120 as our requirement, and we'll continue with that requirement Previously for the Cert 3 HK course, it was 160 hours, but now we have reduced it to 120 hours. As we all know, to go for the placement, they need to have a police clearance and everything, and the vaccination or immunization certificate. We highly recommend for that, but we don't make it as a mandatory one. But if in case the facility asks for it, then the student will have to complete it. Then who will assess the student? IHNA educators will assess the student. In the practical placement area, there will be a supervisor, there will be a buddy with whom the student has been buddied up, so they can fill up the observation checklist, as well as IHNA trainers will filling up the observation checklist as well. IHNA trainer will visit at least once when the student do their practical placement. We will do the observations, we will talk to the facility manager or whoever is the student is paired up with, and get the feedback from the facility, and then we'll understand whether the student is going it in the right way or not. Even though we say at least one, we might visit the student more than once as well. Sometimes the educator might feel that we might need one more visit for the student, then we might do that. Or otherwise, if we have enough time to do that, then we might do multiple visits for the students to make sure that the student is going in the right path and we are having a better relationship with the facility as well. The assessment submissions, hard copy submissions, we still allow the student to do the hard copy submissions unless otherwise they don't have, like for some reason they cannot access a computer or they don't know how to do that. But if the student don't have enough computer skills, they still can do it if they can at least log into our system. Then it's not hard as previous, like downloading and then filling up and uploading and everything. It's much easier. They can just do it in one click, and then they can see all the questions, click to answer, and then submit. So we will try our best to train the students and make sure that 100% of them. Yeah, I'll show. Saji is actually asking, can we see an example? I'll show an example, a quick one. But please make sure 100% of the students are trained how to do that, and then let them do in that way only. But if for some reason one student say, no, I don't even have a computer, or I don't know how to open a computer, then yes, it will be very hard for them to do it in the computer. Then we'll probably provide them a hard copy of the assessments. And then all the things like plagiarism, cheating, extensions and everything comes up. And the prescribed textbook for this course, it will be the Australian Carer. We will make this textbook as a mandatory one for all the students. So in every student joining us, we will give them the textbook as well. Debbie Turner from Perth, she's asking a question: can the students do the placement in disability care as well? Yes, they can do their placement in a disability care as well. It can be either in an aged care or in a disability care. Basically, they should be able to complete all the tasks in the placement book. That is actually the that is what the outcome we need to get from the placement there. Okay, that's all about the delivery and assessment guidelines. I had a question from Supreet, like, what do we need to provide the delivery and assessment guidelines for the students? Yes, we will have to provide the delivery and assessment guidelines, and we will be updating it in the Knowledge Hub, and I'll let you know where it is and how we can access it. That is a temporary measure. As you all know, in our student information pack, that's a big book with so many pages. In that book, at the moment, we were actually giving the delivery and assessment guidelines for the students for the Certificate 3 in Aged Care in that book. It was a part of that book. That is actually from page 93 to page 109, I think, to page 1112. That book is not updated at the moment. So till we update that book, why we are holding it back is we need to update that book with all the courses. So Certificate 3 in Aged Care, Cert 4 in Disability, Cert 3 in HSA, and then the new course in childcare. All these courses, the delivery and assessment guidelines has to be updated. So that's why we are waiting to update that book. Till we update the book, we will have to use the paper delivery and assessment guidelines. That has to be given to the student, and student should understand the this is what the delivery and assessment guidelines. And this actually gives you a distribution of hours. The total nominal hours for this course now is 755. Previously it was 500, 520 for the certificate in aged care. Now they've increased the nominal hours to 755. Assessment metrics shows you what sort of assessments are there for each unit. So 1 KBT is there for sure for every unit. SBA is applicable for all the units as well. And the practical placement book is applicable for some units. The different parts of the practical placement book is, one part is attendance, and the second part is workplace orientation checklist. The third one is a third-party report. And third-party report is the workplace, actually the observation done by the third-party report is an observation done by the workplace supervisor, and then the WBT is the workplace task. So there will be different tasks for the students to write in. There'll be questions asked or scenarios asked, and they'll have to write the answers for that. RJ is a reflective journal. They will have to write a reflective journal for a specific scenario. VQ is verbal questions. The trainer, when they goes to the work placement, or when the student submits the assessment, the work placement book, we will have to, the trainer will ask them some verbal questions and then mark them satisfactory or not satisfactory based on their performance. Saji was asking a question. Does the student need to come mandatorily for the face-to-face classes? No, the student is not required to come for the face-to-face classes, but the student is mandatorily, student must come for the 4 days simulation-based assessments. That's all about the delivery and assessment guidelines. Now, there are some questions which has been already asked by all of you here. I'm just taking your to just go through the frequently asked questions for this course. Stephen is just asking, what do you imagine the length of the time required to complete the course, given that the competitors may deliver this in 10 weeks? I agree, Stephen. So the course duration that we define is 6 months, and we give them a maximum time of 1 year to complete. But that actually doesn't stop the students to complete it in 10 weeks or maybe 12 weeks, because the course is available online and the 4-day simulation workshop is available every month for the students. So when they come for the 4 days simulation based assessment, once they complete it satisfactorily, then they can go for the placement. So they will be able to do it quickly. So we can say the course they can do the course in 3 to 6 months, up to a maximum of 1 year. Someone asking, is Academic Hub is ready with the documents and assessments to start the course? It will be ready on 18th of Jan. So probably I'll do one more training in the next week, somewhere on 14th or 15th, and then all the trainers will be given a training on like how to go through the assessments and everything. for all units. Yeah, all units assessment will be ready next week. I mean, it's all ready. We are actually adding that to the Academic Hub, um, to the online assessments. Prabhagar is asking how this will satisfy the volume of learning. We are defining the volume of learning as well based on each assessments and the textbook that we are giving and the learner's guide that we provide to the students. The students will have to go through all these if they wanted to answer the questions and if they wanted to um, do the simulation based assessment successfully. So all together, we will be able to satisfy the volume of learning as well. We are working on the charts for that as well. All right. Bimal is asking if anyone want to do only one specialization, we are allowing them. No, we are not allowing anyone to do only one specialization. At the moment, the course is designed to do all the both the specialization and yes, that is our way of doing it. It's just a matter of one unit, so um, it's better to do it in that way. Debbie is saying, Narelle and I have received feedback that a weekly visit was preferred. What was the other feedback from the other industry consultants? Um, at the moment, the feedbacks we get from the visits are like they if there is a problem, then they need a visit from us. Otherwise, they are quite comfortable with the students, and the knowledge of the students are quite high from our students. So they are actually they were quite comfortable. The visits actually is of need of IHNA because we need to see how our students are performing and how the and to improve our relationship with the placements. But I'll have a chat with you and Narelle and see what was the feedback and how we can incorporate that into our systems as well. Jasmine is asking, does this course allow students to work in home and community care sector? Students have been asking this. All right. If you look at the past, if you look at the history, the students who have completed the Cert 3 in aged care, normally the home and community care sector asks for students having a certificate with Cert 3 in aged care. There were so far in any of the job advertisements, I haven't seen that anyone is asking a specific home and community certificate. But I believe that'll be the similar case for this course as well. I won't think that anyone will be asking a specific home and community certificate. But if in case someone wanted to do a home and community specialization as well, we will be providing that specialization soon, and then they can join for that. That special, like I said, they need to do 2 more units, and then they will get that specialization as well. All right. 2 more units. Now, I'll just go through the frequently asked questions as well. This will be circulated with all the admission team so that you guys have it in handy, and we'll update that in the Knowledge Hub as well. The first question is, why is this course name having aging and disability in the brackets? So it's basically superseding 2 different courses. One is Certificate 3 in Aged Care and Certificate 3 in Disability. Now, the Certificate 3 in Individual Support with the Aging and Disability Specialization will make the student eligible to work in aged care and disability care. The second one is, like we discussed, is there any more specialization available? Is that specialization available in IHNA? Yes, there is one more specialization, which is home and community care. At the moment, it is not offered by IHNA. What is the fee for this course? The fee structure is as follows. The full fee is 2,800 across Australia. So all 3 campuses will follow the same. In Sydney, Melbourne and Perth, 2,800 will be the fees. Funded fee for Victoria will be 550. Funded concession fee for Victoria will be 110. Funded fee for WA still not advised. We are still waiting to hear from DTWD. All right. In between, I've got a call from Deb. I've got a message from Debbie. Narelle with a day. Narelle with 1 day in class and 4 days of webinar, can the students be supported to complete the 14 units in 3 weeks? Other companies are offering the courses in 3 weeks. I feel we need to match our competition and of course deliver better training. We'll start with the current way of doing it, Narelle. But if we see that there is a change required, of course we'll go ahead and do those changes as well. All right. The question number 4 is there any payment plans available? Yes, the payment plans are available, and I think the admission team is fully aware of the payment plans. If you require more information on that, I'll be happy to add that, or I'll ask Bimal to get that done for me. What is the duration of the course? The course duration is 6 months or 1 semester. Then what is the maximum duration? That'll be 1 year. However, we strongly recommend to follow our we strongly recommend you to follow our course timetable and complete it in 6 months time. Can I complete the whole course online except work placement? No, you need to come for the 4 days simulation workshop in the campus. There'll be monthly simulation workshops happening in all campus. I'm getting a message from David Peter. He's asking, have you got any confirmation regarding funding for this course in WA? No. At the moment, funding for this course in WA is not available. The WA funding authority, DTWD, will be revising the course. They haven't even actually added this course into the funding criteria. So they'll be revising the course every month, and we are expecting by end of January, we'll be able to hear back from them saying, okay, this course is added and this is the fees, etc., etc. And approximate fees will be like between 2,500 and 3,000, even though the funding is available. There won't be a big difference between the funding fees and the full fee in WA, because the WA fees is based on the nominal hours. So there is 750 nominal hours, and the normal fees will be like 2 point something of $3 per unit from the student. Right. I'm just explaining the course assessments as well in that question, and I'm just saying the KBT simulation based assessments and the practical placement tasks are there. What kind of support that I'll get from IHNA to complete the course online? IHNA will be conducting face-to-face classes 1 day a week for each unit. We will also conduct 1 hour webinars 4 days a week, which you can join. Our student support team will be available during the working hours to go through any questions you have about your course content. So basically our student support team will be there, and if there is a question, if it's a technical question, then the support team themselves can take care of it. But if it's an academic question, then that will be transferred to the educator in charge. We are actually planning to keep one educator every time nationally to give answers to any questions that students make. So we'll go into the details. I mean, the campus managers and myself will we'll have a discussion, and then we'll decide who to do and how to do. Shali is asking, the 1 day face-to-face class is a part of SBA or separate? It is separate. It is not a part of the SBA. In that 1 day that we are actually covering the theory part of that unit, not the SBA. All the SBAs will be covered in the 4 days that we are doing. That is not, yeah, that 1 day attendance is not mandatory. How many hours of practical placement involved in this course is 120. Um, who will arrange the practical placement? Yes, of course, IHNA will arrange the practical placement. Can I get the placement in the same suburb? These are all the questions we all know. Like we will say that we will try to get the placement in your suburb or close by suburb, but we do not guarantee that. So you'll have to make sure that you have made travel arrangements if the placement venue is not close to you. And then what is the time of the placement starts? I've given it as an approximate time. Generally, the placement starts from 6 a.m. to 7:30 or 1 p.m. to 2:30. Um, can I request for a change in the placement start time according to my convenience? Unfortunately, no. You must be available in the facility on time. Can I do only afternoon shifts? No, this would not give you the chance to complete all the tasks in the work placement book. You must do at least 50% of the morning shift. That's what the recommendation is. So these are all the frequently asked questions. I'm getting more questions into the chat here, so I'll just go through all the questions and I'll add all these questions in this frequently asked questions as well. Chomsy is saying website published with the information placement hours is 160. Please have a look. We are actually changing it, Chomsy, right now. We have updated the tasks 2 days ago only. So Preet is asking, we need timetable as ASAP if it's not already made. Yes, so Preet, by end of tomorrow, you will get the timetable. What about the webinars is mandatory? The webinars is not mandatory, but we will be recording all the webinars and that will be available for the students so that if they wanted to go through the webinars at any point of time, they can do that. Steven asking, hi DT, with the 4 days SPA, cover all units each time or will they cover only some of the units and therefore students will need to attend more than uh, 4 day group? No, Steven, all the SBAs will be covered in 4 days and the student no need to attend any more SBAs. That'll be the end of it if they do it satisfactorily. If not, then yes, they will have to come back again. Justin is asking, SPS schedule is finalized. No, Justin, I will be finalizing the SPS schedule along with the campus managers, and we will give that to you by end of tomorrow. All right, that's all the questions. Is there any further questions? I'll unmute everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. So, as normal, the students can click on the go to the student hub and then click on the assessments. So I'm muting everyone. And then since this is the demo student and this student has been enrolled into multiple courses, that's why it's showing different courses. But you can go to the course Certificate 3 in Individual Support. The one I've added only one unit here. So that's HLT WHS 002, follow safe work practices for direct client care. So if you click on the assessment, it'll show when the assessment should be submitted. Don't worry about the student instructions. I'm still preparing it and I'll be updating that soon. And the assessment status shows that what is the status of this assessment. There could be multiple status, like the student can actually start the assessment and they can save it and then do it, come back and do it later. Or they can start, save it, complete it and then submit it as well. So that's why it's showing what could be the status of this assessment. And in the first page, it shows like student and the course unit, assessment type and everything. Once the marking has been done, then the marking details as well will display here. It won't allow the student to attend the assessment without checking the declaration. This is how the assessment looks like. So the first question is like hazard is defined as, and then the student can select the correct answer. I think it's the second one. Hazard refers to the potential cause, injury or illness. Correct me, Narelle, if I'm wrong. And what is this comment option? If the student thinks that there is this question doesn't have something, or if they say that okay, the question is confusing. If the student clicks on this and then this, if you have any comments about this question, please add it here. They can say the question is confusing, or the answer options are confusing, or can we rewrite the question in a better way, or anything and everything they want to do. The student feedback, basically we are collecting the student feedback on each question, which like it's up to the student whether they wanted to do it or not, but if they wanted to do it, they can add it anytime. The second question is a risk is defined as a risk refers to the probability that something dangerous will happen. A risk is anything that the workplace can cause illness or damage. A risk is something we take when working in healthcare. A risk is, I think, second one, right, Naril? Anyway, I'll just let it be. I would probably say, I mean, as a student, I'm saying the answer options are confusing. Just say this and go on. Then it's like a sub questions are there. So we are saying Janet knows. Yeah, of course, Janet definitely will know the answer. Select the hazards from following that may cause harm in the healthcare industry. So I would say diseases are a hazard, radiation is a hazard, sharps are a hazard. This way I can do like the first one is single multiple choices are there, but there is only single right answer. In this one, there are multiple right answers there. That is how these questions comes in. So those are the different types of questions. And I'm not attending any other questions, and I'm going, don't worry about this one. It will be removed from this one. There won't be any typing in questions in the KBTs. And then I can save it for later and then come back and do it at any point of time, or I can go to the next one. When I go to the next one, it'll give a warning saying all questions are not answered, and then if you click OK, it will still go. So Preet is asking, is mostly multiple choice questions in all assessment? So Preet, in all KBTs, all questions are multiple choice. Even though it's multiple choice, it's not that easy to answer. We made it a bit tough for the student to answer, because since it's multiple choice, they need to read all the question and the answers, and then only they'll be able to answer it. And questions differs as well. Like some questions will have one right answer, some questions will have more than one right answer. So the students will have to have an understanding of the right. We will give them like, okay, this many right answers you have to choose, but they have to read all the answers. Also, the answers will be shuffled. Like if a student say that okay, if the first two are the right answers, then that won't be the same for the other student. So we'll give them a caution that the answers will be shuffled as well, because that is something normally the students will do when it's a multiple choice answer. They'll say, yeah, for this question, the first one and the last one is the right answer, or the last one is the right answer. But for if I'm taking it and then Thai is taking it, the assessments, the answers we see, the answers will be the same, but the order will be different, which means the answer options will be shuffled. Okay, Stephen is saying something about the question. All these sort of feedbacks about specifically about the question. For example, what Stephen said is, hi Didi, should question 11.1 refer to the employee, not employer? Okay, select the answers from the list given below that an employer must do. Yes, you're right, Stephen. So these sort of feedbacks, how we can do is there is another area, there is another option for the educators to go in and give feedbacks about each question. In my next week training for the educators, I will go through that option as well. So for example, Stephen is seeing this as a problem, like I mean, which is something wrong that we have done. Then Stephen can go in and put his comments on that, and then the curriculum development team can update it straight away. And then Steven will also see that what happened to his comment, whether it has been actioned or not actioned. Those things he can see there. All right. And then finally, they will have an option to save. Instead of save and next, it will show save and submit. Once it is submitted, then the student cannot edit anything. But if the student wanted to delete the entire attempt, then they can do it. That is how it's going to work. Then the trainer will be able to mark it by themselves and then send it back to the student. Once the assessment is, for example, there are 30 questions, 25 questions are satisfactory. Yeah, Supreet is asking, what is the pass percentage? Is it 100%? Yes, Supreet, it is 100% at the moment. So if there are 30 questions and one more question from Naril, for that question, how does the student know how many correct answers are there? We need to update it, Naril. I'm going through that now. All right. Jasmine, would student need additional books for the course? All the resources, or are all the resources are provided? We are providing the learner's guide for each question, each unit. In addition to that, we are giving them the book, the Australian Care third edition. In future, we will add more materials as well. Whichever materials we get, we will add into the system. Bimal asking, can students submit the assessment without 100% attempt? Bimal, that was a dilemma when we designed the system. I was actually quite confused how to do that, and finally I've decided I'll allow them to submit it, and then with a warning saying you haven't attempted all the questions, because that won't stop them submitting the assessment. Because sometimes we get calls from the students saying, I'm not sure how to do this. And then normally we say that attempt it or just submit the assessments, and then we can go through the not satisfactories later. So because of that reason, I've kept it as like allowing them to submit the assessment even without the 100% attempt or 100% answering. We will review that particular feature in 3 to 6 months time, see how it goes, and then we'll review it. I understand there is a bit of financial implications in that, and that's why you're keen to that question. We'll see how we can do that and how we can deal with that. Supreet asking additional cost for the book. I'll update you, Supreet, on that. I need to check again. Narelle saying free textbook. Yeah, I don't know. I have to confirm that, please. Will the book available in our online library? We are in talk with the publisher to get it in our online library, but at the moment, no. Or on campus library. Chomsy is asking, do everything will be the same comprehensive assessment report? Yes, there won't be any changes other than this. So the way the assessment seen, that's only difference, but otherwise instead of downloading the assessment, we can see it in the system. Otherwise all other things are same. In the comprehensive assessment report, you can see the same thing. I think she's asking about this one. It'll show here. Once a student did something, it'll be updated here, so that there won't be any difference in those sort of things. And the comprehensive assessment report as well, there will not be any difference. Shali saying, I won't recommend free textbook. That is my previous experience. I understand the students might not give enough value to the book. They'll just throw it away whenever they want. And Jasmine says, I second that. We must charge a fee for the book. We'll confirm it by tomorrow evening, Jasmine. So Preet, is medication unit included in this course? No, Supreet. For this unit, the medication unit is not included. We're actually planning to develop the certificate 4 in aged care, and that course will definitely have the medication unit. We are running out of time. Anyone have any other questions? Otherwise, Chomsky is saying, please add the first aid as well. The moment the first aid is not added, Chomsky, but I don't know whether we can add it again at this point of time. Anyway, we'll start with whatever units we've added now, and then we'll see whether we need to change anything or not. Narelle is asking, are the webinars live or pre-recorded? Who will complete? Leave it with me, Narelle. We will let you know who is going to do that and when it will be live for sure, and who is doing it. We will assign different people. Basically, the campus managers and myself will decide how to do that and who is going to do it. Any other queries? Cool. I